It's China the Old Soul, and you already know what time it is. It's Turn Up Tuesday. And I got a five artist in the building. He definitely comes through with the come through. He is Bobo. Bobo was born in Cali and is straight out of LaGrange, Georgia. He has been telling his story his whole life, writing songs since 2007 and 2008. He's been professionally rapping and writing songs since 2018. When asked what inspired him to be an artist, this is what he had to say. I've always been very artistic, dramatic since I was born, lol. I guess as I have become more professional, I suppose what inspires me to exist as I am, is the strong need to have something to say, the urge, the need to have a story to tell. His brand is very much raw and real because he is the brand, and Balbo brings the truth, no doubt. Whether it's fashion, his lyrics, his social media, he is living his truth and he represents it through his voice, and he is here for the voiceless. Two quotes he lives by are: everything happens for a reason, and that reason is always for the better of what you have going on in your life. And nothing changes if nothing changes. You can follow him on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and fan base at Bobby Sango. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the combo. Friend, let him know what it is and what it ain't. What's up? It's China the Old Soul, and this is Chai Talk, and I got an artist in the building. I'm very excited because we got somebody from Cali. Last time I know, my sister girl was in Cali, but she not from Cali. So I'm super excited. Let them know who you are.
I'm Bobo. What's up, everybody? I was born in California. I've been back out here since 2012. But I grew up in Georgia.
Okay, Georgia. I got family in Georgia. Got some family in Atlanta. Got some family in Swainsboro, the countryside. You know, we got to take it to the country every now and then. So that's very interesting. Do you like Cali better than Georgia, or is it like, how is that?
It's tough to say, do I love one more than the other? Because you don't get me without the South, and you don't get me who I am, today without, LA. There are parts of both that I love and appreciate and respect. I love the Southern hospitality. I love the food. I love the culture. I love the energy of the South. But I would say I would fit in more on the West Coast, in LA. I think just for me, I think for my personality and my beliefs, and I think LA kind of allowed me the thing that I love more. I will say this: the thing that I do love more about LA than the South is LA allowed me the space to grow and develop and be who I am as a man, both Black man, gay man, whatever. As a human being, I was allowed to really an opportunity, a space to grow and develop, a lot of things that make up who I am today that I wasn't able to do in the South, for a wide variety of reasons. For a wide variety of reasons, I wasn't allowed that opportunity to grow and develop who I am. Everybody's unique. Everybody brings something to the table, but I felt a lot of restriction in the South that I don't have in the West Coast. So listen, I'm a storyteller, so my answers are going to be a little bit longer, a little bit more drawn out. So I hope I answered it I hope it answered it
Oh,
the right way.
all good. You did. Most definitely. And Tupac, I love me some Tupac. That's my favorite rapper of all time. He really made me want to go to
Oh,
LA with that song, To Live and Die
oh
in LA.
wow, yeah.
Yeah, it made me want to go. I gotta come one day. I got some friends up there, and my
Come
best
on through,
friend
girl.
and my best friend actually got accepted into school down there. So I'm excited. You might see me. I gotta see how y'all get down
Oh, that's
there.
nice. Congratulations to her.
Period.
Come through, come through.
So, getting into the question, how would you describe your music style?
I think how I write and how I rap, I think there's some sort of poetry to it because I am telling a story. I'm not just rapping about anything. I'm not just talking about anything. I think with poetry, when people are doing poetry, or at least for me, there's a visual, like you can hear what they're saying, but you can also see what they're saying. There's a visual part of poetry that I think I bring to my music. And I also understand the game being played with music. So it's not like I'm just hitting you upside the head with bars or lyrics and you know, I can entertain you. I can do pop crossovers. I can do, you know, I'm very versatile with with what I bring. And I think that's something if you're trying to and really like have a global influence, I think you have to be capable of entertaining everyone, not just one group, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would say that I have like yeah, I think my stories are very visual, like you can just see what I'm saying, and that's what helps.
Yeah. And listening to your music, I can definitely say you give me a lot. You give me that fun, you give me that serious all at the same time. And I feel like that's my favorite part about you because a lot of artists, they don't know how to pick a side. It's like either they're just going to be lit all day or they want to be serious or they just don't know how to pick in between. So I admire that about you as an artist. You give me very much turn. You know, I like to be turned every now and then.
Thank
Sure.
you. Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. Yeah, we know how to turn it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come through with the come through. We're gonna talk about that later. So when did you realize, okay, when did you realize you were gonna take music serious? Let us know how that moment was.
I went to school. I played college football. I went to school too for theater arts and graphic design. So acting has always been my first love. Storytelling has always been my first love. Whether TV and film, that's what I've always wanted to do. And I came out west and pursued that and things were, I was booking a few things here and there, but I would never really book the thing that would like take me out of any type of side hustle, or I never booked enough consistently to where I was like, okay, I can budget this, you know, these earnings and live off of that while I, you know, work for the next booking. So around 2016 or 17, probably with the situation, because I always felt like I understood and loved the art form that is acting and that is storytelling. And I didn't feel like, you know, the right role were popping up for me. And so I was also dealing with a lot of things. 2015 was when I was like real open with my sexuality, if that makes sense. And so I was juggling that. I was juggling with, you know, discovering who I was as a person. So I know that had a lot to do with not getting booked as well. But I had got depressed around 2017, and my mentor was the one who was like, you should start, you know, doing music, because storytelling is storytelling. I tried to do that. I tried to sing first, and it didn't really connect with people. How can I be me, my personality, and bring that to music, and without compromising who I am as a person and as an artist? You know, like how can I blend the two? And when I started rapping or writing, changing from singing, changing like a more of a rap song. Once I did that, it was, man, it was instantaneous, the amount of positive reception that I was receiving from people, um, and the things that would take like, man, years or multiple months to like come through or pull through was happening in like days, with music, specifically rapping. And because hip hop services those who have a truthful story to tell, for you to be you. And that's, I've never received this amount of creative freedom in any other art form. With acting, there's always other people involved in the story being told. You're telling somebody else's story. But with music, with rap and hip hop, I'm telling my story, and living my truth. And so it was probably around 2017 when that happened. 2018, I released like some freestyles that got some people's attention, and then started to build more of a musical following, or people a following from people that fuck with me because of my music. Excuse my language.
You good? Turn up.
And and then probably, yeah, just every year I just got better and better and better. So yeah.
That's very interesting because, fun fact, I was in acting forever. Like, I feel like my whole life. So that was going to be my major in college. And every other college I applied for was under acting. But the college I graduated from, I actually did mass communication. So this is where you see that comes into play. And I love acting. I really wanted to go to AMDA in Cali. I'm not going to call AMDA out. Great school.
Okay.
Tuition. It was the tuition for me.
I know it. None of this stuff is cheap.
Tell me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the music. What motivates your music? What makes you want to create a song?
I think we're all navigating this world, trying to find where we fit in. And for me, everybody has everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a humble beginning. Everybody has, some sort of struggle or whatever that helps to push and motivate and helps to, define, as a gay Black youth, as a gay Black man in America, there's so much that you're tackling mentally, physically, and spiritually, just to scratch to the surface, just to exist. And I think that's why, I remember like in elementary school, watching movies and just loving movies and wanting to be a part of that, because that was just a world that was outside of my current one. And I loved the fantasy of it all, because it took me out of, my situation, the humble beginnings, and took me out of dealing with whatever was going on, in that current time. So I've always had something to say, and never felt heard, or never felt like I had a voice until music. And so that was, once finding music, I found an outlet to have something to tell my story. So in the beginning, it was just, hey, I got something to say, I have a story to tell, so it was very, like that, if that makes sense. And then, like now, after, I have an album, I have, my first album I put out. I feel like for the most part, I've said what I needed to say. And so now I can really play with the stories and the songs that I make. And and so it's really like, I have a couple of producers that send me beats, and if I'm listening to the beat and I feel a connection to it, then I can get to what motivates me to draw, what motivates me to make songs is just having something to say, man, and providing, a voice for people who don't have a voice like me, who, like I did before, and and entertaining people. I love entertaining. So what motivates me is the ability to be able to entertain folks from a wide variety of different groups and social circles.
Okay, great answer. A lot, and I love it. So getting really into the music, because I love music. That's why I started Turn Up Tuesday, so I can support my Black artists. What is your
Uh-huh.
creative process like?
I know a lot of people will go into the studio and be in the studio for days sometimes, or they'll, like, if they're collaborating with another artist or whatever, or with a group of artists, they'll all bunch up into the studio with a bunch of people and just being there for days. For me, I'm very much so hands-on. I like writing my own music by myself. And then when it comes to getting into the studio, if I'm in the studio, I'm recording what I wrote, and that's that. And it's me and my main engineer, and that's that. I'll get a beat, I'll take that beat and sit with it. And sometimes I can hear the beat. In the first 5 minutes, I had a hook. You know, First couple of hours, I got a song. For some beats, I like to take my time, ride around in the city, listening to the instrumental, catching the vibe, creating the story, creating the world, and then go back home and start the writing. Uh, I know the internet showcases these people in these studios, man. Studio costs money, so if you in the studio, you paying to be there. So I never want to. Time is money, so I never want to just be in there like in the time that it in the wasting, not necessarily wasting, but sitting in the studio writing when that studio time could be used to knock out, actually record and knock out a couple of songs and be finished with those. So that's my process, and everybody has their own unique way of doing things, but I'm very much so hands-on and be alone with it, whether that's writing it out or voice note or whatever. Like I like to be alone with my stuff.
Okay. And shout out to the people that really write their music. It's nothing wrong with the people that don't. But it's different when you
Yeah.
write the music.
Yeah. Hey, do you? It does hit different. It's evident, it's seen, it's felt. There's a difference. However, there is no shade to anybody who doesn't. You got a bunch of writers on your stuff, or you work with writers, hey, as long as the story is being told, do you. I think things get a little murky, get a little tricky when, an individual who doesn't write their own music has an urge to want to be in, a separate conversation, and whatever that means. And I think that's when things get a little tricky, because there should definitely be something to be said about, an artist that writes their own songs. There has to be something to say, because that's hip hop. That's hip hop, man. The
Yeah.
people that I look up to, but the people that have mostly influenced me, I'm trying to say this as respectfully as possible, because I don't want no problems with nobody, but the people who mostly influenced me, I, the people who most influenced me in my music, in the music world, write their own stuff or don't write it at all, and it's off the top of the dome, which is a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, freestyling is something different. I feel like you have to be gifted, because some people think they can freestyle and they can't, but we're gonna let them be great because they had a confidence and they come through it to come through. And then the people that can freestyle,
Yeah.
period. I'd be like, come through.
Yeah.
For me, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a writer, creative
Yeah.
writer, but songs, no. So if you ever catch me Sing your song. I'm saying it on Chai Talk. If you ever catch China singing a song, it was written by somebody else. And I'm not afraid to say it, okay?
I know that's right. Do you, girl? Live your truth.
Okay, so getting back to you as an artist, what do you feel is the most challenging thing for you as an artist?
I think the most challenging thing of my, of this chapter, this current chapter along this journey has been being able to exist in two different worlds. Where in one world, I'm the artist, I'm writing music, I'm doing this, I'm spending hours on social media, I'm doing my best to reply to every comment, doing my best to filter through DMs to reply to every DM. The TikToks, the Twitters, like I'm on one end, that's, the artistry, and navigating the different avenues for revenue of the artistry world. And in the other, currently, it's I have a side job that I work at to help fund my artistry. So, if I'm spending 10 hours at the side job, the rest of the 24 hours of the day has to be invested into my own thing. So it's the battle of juggling those different worlds to survive that has been the most struggling part of it. It's not anything else. I think every artist's dream is to be a full-time complete artist, surviving and thriving off of their artistry and the other avenues that they come about from their artistry or what they do, versus working for someone else, helping build their dream. That has been the most challenging part of all of this. And I do believe that, real soon, I'll be able to be, a full-time artist, with all the hard work that I put in. It's truly starting to pay off. And yeah, man, that's the biggest challenge, because it's not for someone else making their dream a reality, and being involved in that world that you feel like you don't fit in, or you're trying to fit into that world that you don't fit in, but you got to do it to keep the roof over your head, and to fund your what you really want to do. So that's not easy. There's certain things that you might want to say that you can't say because you're representing that brand. Certain things that you want to do that you can't do because you're representing that brand. So that's the most difficult part of all of this. It's never for me, it's not, I know how to, go to the gym, make sure my body's right. I know how to write music. I know how to create songs. I know how to navigate social media. Like none of that. That doesn't seem like work for me. That's something I love to do, and I do it. But what feels like work is the thing that doesn't the joy. It doesn't compare to the joy that I have with what I love to do. So that's been the most challenging part of it all.
And I can attest to that. I feel the same way because I love me some Chai Talk, but you gotta have the other job, pay the bills. So that job's nice. It's nothing wrong with it. But if I could do Chai Talk 24/7, be on somebody BT, specifically BT, look for me. Somebody network, like doing this show, live audience, all that. I would love that. But you just got to keep pushing, keep working no matter what, because it's people watching, even if you feel like it's not. It's literally people watching. So let's get this how we gonna see how you are as an artist with this question. So, do you do music for the love or for the fame, and why?
Oh, I do music for the love. That's an easy one. The the T is the T is I never wanted to be a rapper. I never wanted to do music like full time. I think I think as an actor, I've always wanted to do, and as an entertainer, with a focus in acting, I think I've always wanted to do everything under the entertainment umbrella. I knew music was going to be a part of my journey. But I thought, maybe write some songs for somebody else, sing a little bit here and there, or make a few songs. I never thought that I would be making a full-time career out of music and definitely rapping. I just never felt like I love all forms of music, to be clear. I, I love rap hip hop. It's deeply rooted in Black history.
Yeah.
But seeing myself in the mirror and not seeing a lot of people that look and sound like me in this industry never made it seem like that would be a space that I could exist in professionally. You know, I love Jay-Z. I love Nicki Minaj, but Jay-Z don't look and sound like me. So if you don't see yourself in your world, you don't think that you can, be a part of it. Like, uh, I was getting my hair retwisted. I'm growing my dreads back out, and the shop owner was telling me this story about how this little kid runs into his shop and was like, "Hey, like running around, looking around. He was like, "Hey," and the shop owner was like, "Hey, what's going on?" He was like, "Who are you?" He was like, "I'm the shop owner. Like, this is my shop. Who are you?" He was like, "Shop owner? Like, you can't own your own shop." And this is like a young youth, And listen, kids, we love the kids, but the beauty about kids is they're very bluntly honest. And so he was like, "What do you mean I can't own a shop?" "I do." And the kid was like, "Well, you're Black. You Black people don't own their own, Black people don't own their own shops." And he was like, "Well, and man, it took for me and put myself in that situation. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I would react." But he was very, very much so touched by that sentence, what he said to him. And he was able to counter that with, "Well, hey, I'm about to surprise you. I'm about to make your day because I'm your first, Black owner that that you've met." And the kid's reaction was like, he got excited. He started jumping around, and then he ducked out and left. The shop owner ran out. He like saw his, like, I guess he had just broke away from his uh the mom was at the end of the street. Kid ran back up to the mom. Mom waved and walked off. But that moment in time was so important, because on one end you saw the shop owners, a lot of his hard work being paying off, because for this one little kid to be able to see this adult Black person owning his own business made his day. So of course, if I don't see people that look like me, sound like me in a space, I'm not going to think that I can do that, or I could exist there. Um, so it's all, I'm doing music because I love to do it, and I feel like I'm really good at it. I mean, the evidence is there. Um, I love telling stories, deeply, deeply love telling stories, and I believe my stories are very relatable to any and everybody, regardless of your race, sexuality, religion, social circle, etc. I love what I do. I've never want to do anything. There's a lot of people who do stuff for fame, fortune, clout, etc. That's never been my MO. And like I said, the proof is in the pudding. You hear it when I speak. You hear it in my music. You hear it in on all my social platforms. You see it on all my social platforms. I do things because I love to do it. I say things because I believe in it. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. So that's the T right there. Can't nobody ever be like, "Oh, he does this for fame and for clout." Absolutely not. Can't put that on me.
Wow. That was an interesting story about the shop owner. And that's exactly why the main reason why I created Chai Talk.
Girl, he just that story yesterday.
Wow. That's
Like I heard that story yesterday. Yeah.
wow. But yeah, we definitely got to uplift our people. That's why I got Chai Talk so I can support the Black businesses, artists, and especially artists because I love music. Music is my thing. I love old school, new school,
Yeah.
everything. Pop, R&B, especially hip hop. And then I gotta sprinkle a little
Yeah.
gospel in there because gospel would get me right. But I just love music overall and just seeing my friends who are artists, like they have so much talent. And it's like people gonna fake support them, like they gonna support them when that video go viral. Or they're gonna support
Yeah.
they meet that celebrity. No, I want to support you because you're genuinely a good artist. Now, there's some artists out there
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not so good. Shout out to y'all because y'all got the confidence. But I'm sorry, love. I help
Yeah.
you out in a certain way, but I don't know if you can be on Cha Cha because listen, Cha Cha
Respectfully.
is a different. Thank you, a different ball game. So,
Yeah.
what is one interesting thing about you that a lot of people don't know?
Man, that's a good one. I this might be interesting. I don't so I know I said before I love all forms of music, all genres of music. I think people would be very maybe surprised that first grade to sixth grade I lived in Lincoln, Nebraska. So that's something interesting that maybe a lot of people don't know. And I still to this day love, me and my family were big Nebraska Cornhusker fans. So to this day still love, shout outs to Lincoln, Nebraska. We still, go Big Red. And then another thing, my favorite type of musical genre ever, like if you go to like, how Apple does like the favorite, like after, at the end of the year, it shows you who you listen to most or whatever. Like mine will always be movie soundtrack scores. Like I can ride around or be in my house all day and listen to movie soundtrack scores. That's my favorite type of music to listen to, or opera, because I told you I love stories, man, and I feel like there's such a strong, profound story being told without words when it comes to the music soundtrack scores to people's favorite TV shows and movies. There's a strong, profound story being told, and I connect with that on such a deep level. Yeah, so that's probably something a lot of people don't know about me. That people see me or they see my social media and on my posts or my tweets and stuff, and they definitely feel like you know it paints a different picture of who I really am as a person. So that they might be surprised about me living in Nebraska and loving Nebraska and loving movie soundtrack scores more than the musical genre that I'm making a career out of.
Interesting, but no cap. Movie soundtracks be coming through with the come through. This is gonna be like
Hello.
extra childish. Don't come for me, but if you come for me, it's fine. But Shark Tale soundtrack, they sleep on Shark Tale. I'm sorry, Shark Tale soundtrack, 5-5.
I see you. Ain't no judgment. You like what you like.
No, I'm gonna prove it one day. People gonna be bumping it because of me. Okay, so why do you think people should listen to your music?
I think people should listen to my music because I think it's something that they haven't really heard before. I don't believe there are many people out there telling the stories that I'm telling, like how I'm telling it. And they're definitely out there. I just don't hear about. I haven't seen or heard a lot of them in the mainstream, and it's important to know that, you know, I used to internally feel some kind of way when people would be like, oh, this is a gay rapper, but then very quickly saw that, hey, there's no issue with that, because that's just, listen, people need labels, they need labels, whatever. I'm here to service people, that's what I do. So if people need labels to help them, connect, then that's, it is what it is. But I feel like I'm helping to bridge a gap with multiple different communities, not but just between me and the rest of the world, me and and other straight Black people, because there's a big label of Black homophobia, and I think there's a lot of fear that comes from not understanding something that's different from their everyday lives, when there shouldn't be at all. People should respect people's truths, and that's it. My existence doesn't prey upon their existence, or other people's existence in general, but I have something to say, and it should be, and that should be respected, to be heard, and then also to the in the gay community as well. I've been to a few different Pride events, and which is very important, to again allow for a space for people to be and to celebrate their existence, and to celebrate their people living their truths. But you go to a lot of these different Pride events, and it looks very much so like very very blunt. It looks very pale. It looks very unseasoned. It looks very pop only, and glitter only, and you know what I mean, like, and whereas it's a rainbow for a reason. It's a spectrum that exists. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to I shouldn't have to do pop music in order for my stories to be told. I shouldn't have to wear a dress in order for you to pay attention to me. I shouldn't have to gay it up for you to pay attention to me. You know what I mean? And so I think people should listen to what I have to say, because it will provide a different scenario that people may find and discover that they can relate to. Not everybody's going to relate to somebody wearing makeup or lipstick, or people who paint their nails, or people who wear heels, whatever. But you can relate to somebody that has a very truthful, honest story to tell. And so I think you should listen to my stuff, because you might find out something new that that you never knew before, or you might find out that you can relate to somebody from the LGBTQ community and not be gay yourself. You know what I mean? So that's why I think you should to tune in.
Yeah, tune in, period. Stream it all. But I would like to say that when you reached out to me, I appreciate that, because that shows that I'm doing something. And every now and then people have their doubts, like, dang, I'm putting out this content, but are people really paying attention? So I do appreciate that. And I would like to say that it has nothing to do with you being gay. I like you as an artist. When you sent me your music, I looked at you as an artist. I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to listen to his music. Like, no, that's just the type of person I am. I want to hear your music, period. I don't care what you is, what you ain't. But if you trash, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's real. That's
and
real.
I would like to, if you don't mind, before we go into our next question, I would like to go into, you mentioned, the homophobia in the Black community and stuff, as far as Pride as well. Do you mind going into that conversation? Because I have a few questions.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay, cool. So my best friend, actually, which earlier, I was like, period. I ain't paying attention. My best friend is actually a guy, and he's gay as well. So, I support y'all. Yeah. I support real people though. I'm not gonna say that. I support real people. If you are a genuine
Period.
person and you
Yeah.
care, I got you. But
Yeah.
because it's not even, to me, it's not even about, gay or straight. It's about, how are you as a person? Because
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
gay and straight, and you could be the most evilest person that walk in the room. So
Facts.
to me, that's how I like to look at it. I like to look at it as a person. So how do you feel as far as the Black community, how we can, as far as like, I'm straight, how we can not, I don't want to say fix it, because I always say that and mess it up, bridge the gap as far as supporting each other. Because at the end of the day, you guys still are our Black brothers and sisters, whether we agree with what you do or not. So how do you
Right.
think like we can come together and kind of, just fix it, bring peace? How do you think we can do that?
Oh man, that's such a there's so much to pick apart with that. Or not to pick apart, but to dive into with that question. And there's no one sure way. I think at the end of the day, you should respect people for who they are. You should respect people for choosing to live their truth and go from there. Um, I think society has a strong grip on what things should look like, sound like, etc. And I believe that grip is starting to loosen because of social media and people being brave enough to live their most truthful selves. Um, my first mixtape wasn't received by the LGBTQ. The first mixtape I put out, more straight people was messing with it than gay people, and not like down low straight people. I mean, like legit straight people listen to it, be like, "Yo, you got bars." Like, we have no choice but to respect. Like, we mess with you. And so that was a light bulb moment for me to say, "Oh man, so if you're good, they'll respect you. If you have something to say and you respect the craft that is rap and hip hop on a musical level, you know, I think, yeah, just accept people for who they are. You can't go wrong. A, B, if we both look like each other, we both know skin wise. If we're both Black, then we know the Black experience. My sexuality change, shouldn't change the color of my skin for you. You know what I mean? And so people, regardless of their sexuality, should, Black people, regardless of your sexuality, should look at a gay person, regardless of what end of the spectrum they are in, and still support and love that individual, because that person's Black. It was sad to see. I saw a lot of, during the stay-at-home order during the pandemic, about 2020, a trans girl get a crowd of people just beat up on her because she was trans. And I thought that was so sad, because what it feels like to be a Black person. You know what it feels like to be a minority in this world, and how hard that is. Saying, "Oh, it's hard," how hard that is doesn't compare to the reality that is being of a darker skin complexion on this world in America. And so what that experience is like. You should never want to attack somebody else that looks like you, that poses absolutely no threat to your day to day. People, "Oh, but what about the kids? What about the kids?" It's like, I, that's all. It's always funny to me when now that people's voices from the LGBT community are being really, really heard and respected enough to put them in TVs and films and let them have platforms and pride parades being pushed, and people can marry the same, marry who they want to marry. It's only in recent times that that's been, you know, supported by the masses. And prior to that, you have so much negative influence from, I mean, goodness, people rapping about killing each other. People, I mean, listen, no shade, no shade to people who that's their, that's rapping hip hop. Whatever you rapping hip hop, whatever you're rapping about is from, where your upbringing, whatever. But nobody was like, oh, well, they rapping about killing somebody, so let's not support. Nobody, like, there's, maybe other people outside of rap hip hop are saying that, but most of the rap hip hop culture was in support of that. So that we can't talk about that. And there's a wide, I mean, again, this is so much to dig deep in with this question, with that topic. But there are so many other things that can negatively impact youth versus providing a space for them to be able to live their truth in whatever that means. I'm not gay because of a song I heard. I'm not gay because of the music that I was listening to as a youth. I'm not gay because I saw somebody wearing heels that was a man. I'm not gay because I see men or boys with pink, their nails painted. I'm not gay because of any of these things that people in society might say that, oh, well, if we don't do that, they could turn. Nobody's trying to turn anybody here. I'm not gay because I am gay simply because I am. I know what I like. You know what I mean? And that's the T. So I think if we just respect other people for what they choose to do with their lives, you can't go wrong with that. And we should all just, as a community, if we ever collectively came together, regardless of our sexual orientations, religions, and or whatever, there would be nothing or no one that can stop us. I truly believe that. Short answer to fix, whatever. I think you just have to, lead with respect, man, and be able to be comfortable in your own skin and comfortable in your own sexuality. You can't turn somebody gay. You can't turn a straight person gay. You can't do that. You can turn somebody who's already gay, but not living their truth, if that makes sense. So people should be way more comfortable with their sexualities and less pressed about somebody living their truth, man. There's something to be said. There's something to be said about somebody willing to live their truth to the fullest. And we should just come together on that. Lead with love, and you can't go wrong.
Yes, love. We love love.
And we should.
Most definitely. And I loved that. I loved your answer, and I love how open you are. For me as a person, I can't relate to a gay woman. I can't relate to a gay man because that's not me. But I'm willing to respect as long as respect comes back. And we're going to get into it a little bit more. I'm not going to overdo it because I feel like we should have another conversation another time on the show. But we'll talk about that later. So how do you feel when it comes to, like, for me, I don't really understand. Let's say, because I'm not going to lie to you. I don't say the full, like you said it earlier. I don't say the full letters because I don't want to mess up, because I don't want to be attacked. Because some of you guys will come, like it could be a bad day. I could just be stuttering or something. Everybody got their day.
Yeah.
And then they just come for me, and I'm just like, dang, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. So how do you feel about that when they come for somebody that just honestly doesn't know or doesn't understand? How do you feel like me as a straight person should address it without feeling like I'm just gonna get jumped on?
I'm trying to understand the question. What's the question, baby? I'm trying to understand.
Okay, so for example,
you said how go ahead. What'd you say?
Okay, I was probably talking in my Miami. I was probably going crazy. But basically what I was saying is like at the end of the day, like I told you, I respect people for people, period. You're a good person, you're a bad person. Cool. But I might come across one day, I might want to have the discussion, like I just said with you. We're going to talk about it to come back, for you to come back on the show so we can talk about that. But I might
Mhm.
say, I'm not going to say it, but your community, say it for me. It's the LB. You see what I'm
Oh, the
saying?
LGBTQ. You're saying if you ever
Mess
messed
it
up on
up.
that,
Yes.
you feel like people would come for you. How should people react, or how should you react? What was it?
Well, me as a straight person, how should I react? I'm speaking for, well, I want to say I'm speaking for straight people. Straight people.
Oh, okay.
Ah!
So you mess up on the letters, and people come for you for messing up the letters.
Yes.
You're asking how should you react to that?
Yes.
I think with that very specific conversation, I think it should be I think it should be treated just as if you had said something about somebody's religion. Let's say you had said something that, unbeknownst to you, was disrespect to someone's religion, and then Muslim. Like, what are you? Or wait, I'm Christian. Like, what? Wait, I'm Catholic. Like, what do you mean by that? And they come for you a little bit. I think it should be returned with the same level of respect. Like, whoa, my bad. I didn't know. It should be just like that. Very, very humbled or whatever. Like, or open. It should be married, not humbled, but very open to receiving uh, the opportunity to be enlightened, educated on something that you didn't know about. That's really it. If I make a mistake on something that I didn't know about and somebody comes at me, it's gonna be, whoa, my bad, my bad, my bad. It's cool. You know, I apologize. Like when somebody comes at us for, like when somebody tries to, touch our hair. Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. Can I? Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? What are you doing? And you can't, oh, my bad. I didn't know. I didn't, right? Some of them be knowing. That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But, but it's just the same level. Like, listen, we shouldn't ever want to seek out drama. We shouldn't ever want to seek out, well, I need to defend. I didn't. It's not, none of that is needed. We don't have to take it up a notch. Again, love. It should just be love. My bad. No respect. No disrespect. I didn't know. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for educating me on it. You know what I mean? And then it just becomes a matter of holding other people accountable. You
Mm-hmm.
know, uh, if if I'm not gay and I'm straight, if I'm straight and I'm around a bunch of straight friends, and these straight friends are being very homophobic, you got to hold them accountable. Oh, what are we doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then listen, people feel like, oh, well, if I defend somebody from that community, then, oh, they think I'm gay. Again, if you comfortable in your sexuality, you ain't got nothing to lose. And if you end up losing those friends because they homophobic, you don't want to be friends. You shouldn't want to be friends with them, no way. Because it should always be about uniting us all. You can't unite us all if you got a small group of people that don't like other people because of their sexuality. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, um, we if something like that happens to you, just be open to receiving an opportunity to be educated on something you didn't know about. And it's just that, it's really that simple. It don't need to be no drama. And listen, if they still popping off at the mouth, cool, let them do them. All right, my bad. Didn't know. You're not gonna be friends with everybody in this world, in this life. You're not gonna be able to please everybody in this world, in this life. You can be following every step, rule, you can be doing everything that's right and somebody not like, and still feel like it's wrong. So again, it should just, as long as you walking in love and you can't go wrong, man. And being respectful, you can't go wrong. You know, that's the T.
Period. And I can definitely understand that. I'm an open person. I mean, if I'm wrong,
Hmm.
correct me. Let me know. If I said something wrong, let me know. But at the same time, I don't want you to be like, you know, I'm not finna cuss it.
Yeah,
You, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
no.
You this, you're gonna get canceled. I'm gonna be like, dang, I know, like my feelings might be hurt a little bit, but
Yeah.
thank you for definitely clarifying that and being open to that, because I feel like it is a gap between the gay and straight community because we don't know how to communicate with that. Like I said, I
Yeah.
might be wrong and not understand, and this other person might just come for me like, you better understand. And I'm like, I'm sorry, can you teach me? And they might not even want to teach me.
Yeah.
They might just want to come for me, you know? So it's just
Yeah.
a whole lot with that. But now we're going to get back into the music. So, how do you
Talk to me.
how do you feel you've grown as an artist from when you first started to now?
Oh man, I get better and better. I think I've become more of a focused artist. I think I've become a better storyteller just with time. I think because I'm very passionate. I got a lot of energy over here. I'm very passionate. And I think not only has my pen gotten better, but my breath work has gotten better. Um, Learning the ins and outs of the studio, that's gotten better. Um, Being more relatable to more people, that's gotten better. The business side of it, that's gotten better. Um, I think every day, every month, every year, I become a better artist and storyteller. The more I do it, and the more I dive deep into it, it's just like, a basketball player not being good at free throws and then just continuing to practice at their free throws until they can get it, or not being able to, not making a lot of threes and then practicing at it. And now, they're the best 3-point shooter in the game. That's me. I feel like I've gotten a whole lot better than you know the freestyles I used to do in the past, and in the songs that I would make in the past. Um, I feel like I've gotten a whole lot better. I truthfully feel like I'm still scratching the surface with my potential as an artist, as a rapper, as a songwriter. I don't feel like there's any limit, um, unless there's a limit that I place on myself when it comes to this hip hop game, and any limit, because even if a label doesn't want to sign me, or even if uh, a network doesn't want to put me on their form for their award shows or whatever, or any of that, I can still be out here because of social media and making a living and earning a living. My stuff is direct to consumer. I got the analytics. I know the percentages of this person and that person in this group, in this state, in this country. You know what I mean? I can do this with or without the support from anyone else. And that's only because I've gotten better uh, at the business side and the artist side, and I think it's evident in the songs that I'm making and putting out now. I have a deluxe album coming out soon, and I got a few singles that I'm going to be pumping out soon. So you'll be able to hear the growth and see just how far. I mean, people have been rapping for their whole life, for decades. They put in a lot more time in than me to just really. I don't want to say stumble upon it, because again, I've been telling stories my whole life, right? And music is storytelling. But I kind of just started rapping in 2018, in 2018, really. That's not that long ago. And you don't count 2020 because, the whole world was shut
Wait,
down.
Yeah.
But I haven't, for me to not be doing this as long as other people, and for me to be running laps around them. I'm running laps. I'm running laps, and that is no cap. That is no shade. This is just being honest right here. You compare my stuff to some of these, to some other folks, and you can't tell me that, like I felt something in that boy Bobo stuff. Like you can't tell me you can't listen to my stuff and I feel something. You can't tell me you can listen. You listen to my stuff. You don't see. You can't visualize what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Feeling it on a deeper level. There's gonna be some songs that certain folks can't relate to at all. And that's only because I ain't talking to you. You know what I mean? But there are songs that I'm talking to everybody on, and everybody can feel that. Like I said, I love this stuff. I love this music business. Well, hold on. I love rap and hip hop. The music business is something completely separate. That game, man. Ooh, if I didn't love it, I'd find something else to do. Because it's crazy the amount of, man. It's that's a different segment. But yeah, I think every day I get better and better.
And it's all about growth. You don't want to be in the same place you was 10 years ago. Growth is the key. So, moving on to our next question. Do you have any artist influences? If so, who and why?
Yeah, I said it earlier. Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z. I think I've always been a big fan of Jay-Z, man, since I've heard his album before, like the first albums and all of that. But the Black album, I remember listening to his Black album. My brother was playing for the Knicks at the time, and I remember listening to that album and being in New York while listening to it and being like, wow, man, like just really impressed, and then diving deep into all the other albums that came before. Because there's always gonna be some songs that he put out that I was like, oh shit, that's fine. But really being able to, for me, the Black album was what made me say, wow, this is an artist for real. And I was what was it? Well, I think I was in high school at the time, around that time. And mind you, I'm still learning and navigating this world as as a Black man at the time, as a Black youth at the time, and making sense of my sexuality in my own way at the time. So again, I was just captivated by him as an artist and as a human, and how he carries himself, and his business mindset is unlike any other, and the proof is in the pudding of what you see now and what he's doing business wise. This is the type of individual. I ain't have, I don't know my biological father, but I have a lot of father figures, and seeing him was like, man, that's what I want to aspire to be with my artistry, because he was able to take his artistry and make it a whole business, and allow that business to venture him off into whole other avenues for revenue. Such an upstanding man, and just I'm just really impressed. So that's probably that's one of the most strongest musical influences on my life. And then the other one is Nicki Minaj, because, and truthfully, Nicki Minaj more so than Jay-Z, even though I connected with Jay-Z first. But the T is, again, I'm a gay man. I'm a gay Black man. So there's certain things that Jay-Z was rapping about that I couldn't really relate to. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of things that I was able to see and take from. But it wasn't until hearing Nicki Minaj step on the scene, and there's been other female rappers, no shade, before Nicki. But for whatever reason, man, hearing Nicki and then seeing her, there's power and femininity if that's if that's even a word. But there's power in black women that inspires me. Like I grew up with my mom and my sister, but they're not artists. You know what I mean? So to see her tell her story, whether it was real raw or whether, you know what I mean, it was, sexual or whatever, there was something in how she was saying and how she was doing, and then, growing up in New York has an essence, it has an energy about it. And I love that city. And seeing her, it was just something so profound. You can hear any one of my songs, any one of them, and you'll hear her in it. You'll see her in it. Just like you'll hear bits and pieces of my songs, and you might could hear, Jay-Z a little bit here or there. But you definitely gonna hear Nicki. And so those are my two. Without them, you don't really get. You might get a different. You'll get something. You get something else. But they helped. Studying them and watching them helped to shape me as I put myself off of their lead, their example. So yeah.
Okay, period.
I feel like all my answers are long.
It's all good. Listen, I've had artists with probably longer answers. It's all good. It's all good. We love the passion. We need a passionate artist. We love it.
Yeah.
So shout out to them Jay-Z and Nicki fans. I got an opportunity to go to a Nicki concert. I believe it was the Pink Print tour.
Wow.
And it was just a vibe. Nicki, that's all I'm saying. Nicki. So moving on to our last question, but it's all good because after that, we're gonna have some fun. What goals do you have as an artist for this year?
To be a full-time artist. That is my goal. Whether that be just before the end of the year, I will be a full-time artist, hands down. Doing what I love to do, whether that's shows, whether that's selling merch, whether that's whatever bookings, with commercials, bookings, theatrically, whatever. Full-time artist this year is the number one goal. Last year was putting out the album, pushing and promoting the single, of which I'm still I got the album out, but as an independent artist, and nobody's telling you this, nobody's giving you this hot tea. It is so much harder to push and promote an album, to really work an album as an independent artist, which is why a lot of artists choose to push out singles. It's a lot easier, it's a lot cheaper to push and promote a single than it is an entire body of work. But I have to pay my dues. I can't just push out a bunch of singles and expect people to know who I am as an artist, to really be able to be invested in me in a single. I have to put out a body. I felt like I needed to put out a body of work for them to be able to anchor in on, you know what I mean? To be able to hook into. And so that's a part of the work. And so, yeah, it was last year's goal was to put out the album, push and promote the album, push and promote the single. We still pushing and promoting the single. Most of my, work for pushing and promoting the single, my lead single, Thirst Trap Thursday will be finished before the summertime, but right in time for the deluxe album to come out. And there's not a lot of pushing for the deluxe album because it's just piggybacking. It's a deluxe, so I'm just adding 5 more songs to the album I put out the other, last year. So it's a lot easier, and then it'll just be more singles. But that was last year's goal, and then this year's goal is just to be a full-time artist before the end of the year. We got a lot of work to do to make that a reality, but it's highly possible because of the work that I put in, because of the hard work, sleepless nights that I've been putting in. And so, yeah, that's my goal. That's my goal.
Period. And we're gonna speak it into existence on Chai Talk.
Let's do it.
It here. You heard it here. So I know you at home are like, keep talking, give me the tea, but we got to take a break and support our Black businesses. So we're going to go into this commercial break. And when we come back, I got a game for my friend. I'm so excited. See if he going to come through with it, come through.
Oh, Lord.
Hi, everyone. My name is Candy, a personal blogger. I would love for you all to check out my website at www.apieceofcandy.com. It's a place where I'm able to share my vulnerability, my intrusive thoughts, my emotions, fears, and desires in hopes that my audience will be able to understand and empathize with me with the words that I express. In order to gain more insight on myself and my blog, I would love for you all to check out my interview with Amanda, aka China the Old Soul, on YouTube. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm pretty sure you will walk away with something.
Chai Talk is definitely heaven sent. Trust me. Just ask God. This show will help you let it go or work it out. I remember the pain. I remember when I almost gave up. However, God told me I should have let you go. Not you though, friend. We here to get to know each other on Chai Talk. And all you have to do is tune in every week. Hosted by yours truly, China the Old Soul. And we are back. And you already know, if you watch Chai Talk, you know, once you see this iPad, you know, this case a little beat up. But we going to work on it. It's time for a game. You know, can't tell my artist at a time. We gotta be natural. We gotta be raw. I gotta come through with the come through. So we got a game, and I make only one game on this show I didn't make up. I took it from somebody else, but this is an original game, and I call it "Whose Song Is?" No, I'm not just gonna sing the song and expect you to be like this artist. I gave you multiple choice, so you have A, B, C. So you can pick. You can think about it, and I don't think that's gonna be that bad. You think you're ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So number one, the song is hot in here. A, Twister. B, I said Twister. Twister. B, Nelly. Or C, Bow Wow.
B, Nelly, girl. Next question.
Next up, you're going to get this one. I already know. You probably not even going to want the choices. Good form. A, Nicki Minaj. B, MC Light. Or C, Little Kim.
Girl, hey, Nicki Minaj, don't play me. Don't play with me.
I told you. I already do. Moving to the next one. Headlines. A, Gucci Man. B, Tyga. Or C, Drake.
Drake.
Okay, taking it back. So, you know, when the iPod Touch was a thing, them kids don't know about the one with no camera. They don't know about the one with no camera.
They don't know about it.
And next up, Conceited. A, Remy Ma. B, Foxy Brown. Or C, Flo Milli.
Remy Ma.
Yes, okay. Taking it back.
I'm conceited.
Hey. So next up, I just heard this song on TikTok. I ain't heard it in a little minute.
Oh, Lord. What's the tea?
I don't know what his man been, but shout out to him. Hey, baby. A, Lil Scrappy. B, Hurricane Chris. Or C, Chingy.
Oh, wait.
Hey,
Wait.
baby.
You said you just heard him on TikTok?
Hey, baby. Yeah, they did a remix.
Oh, they did a remix. I was like, girl,
Yeah.
that's not a new song.
Oh, no, it's not new. They did
the choice again.
A,
Oh, okay.
Little Scrappy. B, Hurricane Chris. Or C, Chingy. This is the song that go like, hey, baby.
It's not Chingy.
Hey, baby.
That's my song. Turn it up. I know this. It's Hurricane Chris.
Yeah, shout out to Hurricane Chris. That's not my favorite song. It's Players Rock, but the real people know about Players Rock. Well, let me say
Everybody, if you're from the South, you gotta know about it.
Yes. All I remember is the little boy in the video. That's it. So next up, Coming to My City. I hope I didn't make it obvious, but Coming to My City. Act Up. A, City Girls. B, Light Skin Keisha. Or C, Left Eye.
Oh,
Act
City
Up.
Girls.
Yeah, you was about
Backed
to.
up, you can get backed up.
Oh,
Act up, you can get smacked. Yeah, the City Girls.
yeah. I ain't
We
want to.
love the City Girls over
Shout
here.
out to the City Girls. Y'all in my
Shout out to the City Girls.
period. So next, high fashion. A, Gunna. B, Roddy Rich. Or C, Lil Baby. You know this.
Wait, give me the three.
Fashion. A, Gunna. B, Roddy Rich. Or
High fashion.
yeah,
Go ahead, go ahead.
A, Gunna. B, Roddy Rich. Or C, Lil Baby.
Is it little baby?
Friend,
Oh, it's Roddy Rich.
yes. Why you ain't saying that? It's okay though.
It's Roddy Rich. I knew it was either one of the two.
You was coming
You know
through.
why?
Though.
You know why? You know why? No, I don't want to say that. Never mind.
Never mind. Scratch it.
Yeah, scratch that, because I ain't gonna have nobody coming for me.
For
but
real.
there's a reason why I thought. But go ahead.
I think I peed. So
You peed. You peed.
Yeah, we here. So it's all good, but you're doing good. It's only one.
I'm trying, girl. I'm trying.
Next up, you should get this. Big Energy. A, the Brat. B, Sweetie. Or C, Lotto. Big Energy.
How I go?
Hey.
Can you tell me that?
I know you got big energy. I can't say the other part. I might get a whooping. But I might let you try it out the Hennessy. Hey, sing to like a melody. And if you, I got the remedy.
Sweetie?
No, it's okay though. It's the girl, Big Lotto.
Big Lotto? Oh,
Yeah.
she gonna kill me. I love her. No.
It's all good. It's all good. It's okay. I could have been
singing. I know they're gonna air out. Somebody gonna save this and show it to her and be like, he ain't a real one. Oh no.
It's all good. It was just overthinking. Everybody has it sometimes. It's okay. It's okay.
No, girl, but I said it like I knew who it was. It's Sweetie.
Shout out to Sweetie. Shout out to her.
Sweetie, man.
But it's not her song, but shout out to her.
I love Big Lotto.
Yes.
I love Big Lotto. I do want to say that.
Yeah, that's song fire though. That song is fire. I be bumping that. So moving on, taking you back a little bit in time, back in the day. Flashing lights.
I'm hurt by that one. I'm hurt by that one the most.
It's okay. We gonna fix it. We gonna fix it. So taking it back, flashing lights. A, Pusha T. B, Kanye West, now known as Ye. Or
Kanye
C,
West.
Oh yeah, flashing lights. That's my song.
Lights. We know that.
Snap. He snapped. The album Fi. And last,
hello,
not least, I think you're gonna get this. I feel like you can get it off the bat, but let's see. Big old freak. A, Trina. B, Eve. Or C, do you know you're Megan, baby?
Megan the Stallion, hot girl, Tina Snow, hot girl, Meg. What you want?
Yes! Yes! Period. That was really good though. You only got 2 wrong out of 10. 2 out of 10 is not bad. You only got 2 wrong out of 10. That's good. It's really good. That's like an 80%, right?
I pass. We pass it.
Period.
I always pass the test.
Yeah. Okay, so what last encouraging words do you have for the audience?
Encouraging word I can give for the audience is just to, I'm always going to be a strong advocate of living your truth and whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like. It's so cliche to say, it's so stupid to say, but you can literally do anything that you want to do in this world, especially now. There's no excuse to not to. And never give up on your stuff. So, live your truth and never give up on what you want to do in life. We all have a part to play in this game called life, and it is so important and so crucial, regardless of your circumstance, regardless of your upbringing, regardless of what things look like. You know, don't give up on what you want to do in life, and making your dreams a reality. Um, that is the biggest difference between, you know, uh, anybody that's well known, famous, uh, artist, singer. Uh, you know, they didn't give up on what they wanted to do in life, and those who aren't doing what they are doing is because they just decided to give up. Um, Regardless of what it looks like, man, you, especially in music, you could literally just be one song away from being a household name. Um, so it's very important to not give up on what you want to do. You got to be your best cheerleader. Um, Not everybody is gonna get it. Uh, Not everybody is gonna wanna, and I'm talking family included. Not everybody is gonna want to support you in your dream, support you in your goal. You got to be your number one fan, until other people become your number one fans. But you got to continue to put in the work and do what you got to do. Adapt to your environment. Um, don't do the same thing over and over expecting a different result. But all that in a nutshell is just, don't give up on your dream. I know that's so cliche. Oh, don't give up on your dream. You can make. It's so cliche, but it's so real, man. That is the biggest difference. I never gave up on what I wanted to do in life, and I always tried to figure out how I fit into the world. And maybe I stop doing this, I start doing that, or I tweak this, I make this better. But I've always kept moving forward, and that's why I truly believe I'm starting to see, a lot of success now. So don't give up on your dreams, man. Keep moving forward.
Great advice. That was for me too. I felt like that was for me too. So thank you so much.
Girl, it's for me. It's for me every day.
Period.
Every.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I truly appreciate you giving me your time. And you are family now. So when we have another show, come through with it. Come through. And
yeah,
all
come
of
through with the come through.
Period. All of his music and Instagram, Facebook, social medias will be in the description. So make sure you check that out. Stream it. I've been streaming it. My friend be coming through with the come through. Make sure you check out. What was the single again, friend?
Thirst Trap Thursday.
Thirst Trap Thursday is giving you very much grown. If you're not grown enough,
get into it.
Some of y'all not grown enough. But those of you that's grown, you get it. So on that note, see you on the next episode of Chai Talk.